morning, YouTube. April has some more tales of weirdness from Tesla.
I mean, it's a cool thing everyone's talking about, right?
Tesla, the buzzword, Tesla. So a lot of bad news, though, with Tesla.
Right. Well, right now, actually, it's pretty wild because they have so many cars. They have so many cars that they haven't sold. There's actually 45,000 Teslas that are unsold.
They're built.
They're built and
but
they're
nobody
just
wants
hanging
them.
out. Nobody wants them. There's not a lot of place for storage because they're not the traditional dealerships where you have huge lots where you can store them on. So
Right.
here's something crazy that Tesla is doing. All right. Now, you know, strip malls, like we all used to go to them back in the day, or even malls.
Yeah, mega malls,
Mega
yes.
malls,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just not a thing anymore. Now, Tesla's taking advantage of that. And in St. Louis, they've actually parked around 300 Teslas just right outside this old parking lot in a mall where, you know, nobody's using it anymore. So why don't we just use it for storage for EVs? And that's what Tesla's doing.
Well, we saw it firsthand picking up the Cybertruck.
Right.
How jam-packed their lot was. It was an old Walmart or Target or something like that. It was a department store that they bought. Usually they repurpose buildings, Tesla themselves, buying old defunct shopping centers.
Right.
And it was jam-packed. They had Cybertrucks parked on curbs. They had like anything that could be a spot. Like it was very narrow just to be able to drive through to exit because they were just so stacked. Not just Cybertrucks. They were all stacked up because of the pedal issue that's now been fixed. But just mostly Model Ys.
Right.
Not really Model S's. A lot of Model 3s, a lot of Model Ys.
Well,
and
it was
just
wild
jammed.
to see because we drove to Kansas City from Wichita, which is like 2.5 hours to get the Cybertruck. And you wanted to see it when we got there at night. You know, we drove at night. We got there, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night. You're like, oh, let's just go drive by. Maybe we can see the VIN and see which is your new baby. And
Impossible. There's so many.
so many. I want to say like 50 of them just jam-packed.
Yeah, 40, 50 for sure.
In this lot.
So it wasn't a good look for Tesla to have that many cars piled up, especially when their business model is you order a car, we build it, and we send it to you. We're not a car lot where you come, well, which one do you like better, honey? Like, so normally that would be low for Ford, GM, Chrysler to have 45,000 cars for sale in the country. But with Tesla, that's not their business model. They don't want to carry inventory. So it's really bad.
There's quite a few left over.
So shopping malls, struggling things like Tesla. Shopping malls are they're struggling
We
things.
need to find other uses for them, and actually a lot of people have.
Really?
Yeah, and I got to show you some of my favorite ones of repurposed uses for
in
shopping
Wichita,
malls.
we have two big mega malls.
Yes.
Town East. I'm an East Sider. It's fancy, it's nice, and all that stuff. Town West, the owner struggles to pay the bill. And regularly, the power gets shut off for the utilities, and these people that have their businesses inside of it, just and then it's out for a day or two, and then it comes back, and it's half empty. It'll be gone at some point.
Yeah.
So I wonder what they'll end up doing with the shopping mall at Town West, which is the West Side, so whatever. Sorry, West Siders, but yeah.
Yeah, we know you don't like the West Side. Here's a couple things that you can do to repurpose a strip mall or a mall in general. In Rochester, New York, they actually made a senior living center out of an old Sears, which seems a little crazy to do.
I guess they could make it sort of like the vault dwellers in Fallout, where they make it look like sort of a dystopian, weird, like, if they're having memory problems, they can make it like 1950s feeling with no windows and stuff.
Like the Cold War era?
Yeah, it would be kind of fun. Like, so then it's comfortable. Like
the sirens going off.
They go in, like they don't have to worry about internet, Facebook, and people with phones in their hands. They could make their own little worlds out of these massive spaces. That's pretty good.
But there's no windows. Like every room should have some sort of window. I feel like that's abusive if you don't. And to refurbish an entire building to have the structure to be able to stand up and have all the windows, it doesn't seem sound.
I would have never thought of senior living, but it makes sense considering how many seniors there are. That's a growing segment of the population, how more older people, declining birth rates and stuff. So boomers are huge right now. But I think most of them are like...
Did you just call boomers seniors?
Well, they are. They're becoming seniors, yeah.
So
from 1945 is old. But yeah, I'm thinking most malls are probably now like warehouses, right?
Right, exactly. Well, they're mostly empty. Here's another one, which I can no longer play because I've torn my ACL, maybe in a year or two, but they're turning them into pickleball centers.
I heard of this,
all over the country.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
If you can't keep up in tennis like the real athlete, then you play pickleball.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm good at, actually.
Big square footage, high ceilings, climate controlled,
Right.
especially in the northern states. Like, and you want year-round play. Like here we have a chicken and pickle, like a restaurant thing, but it's only limited on the indoor courts, and they're
Right.
always full. So
Right.
that makes a lot of sense, because you wouldn't want to build multi-million-dollar huge facility for pickleball,
Right.
but an old shopping mall.
It is perfect.
It's
and
great.
It's repurposed for a pickleball. Is pickleball a trend, or is it here to stay? I don't know.
I'm more of a tennis player. I think pickleball is kind of noisy and annoying. That's a big complaint. That noise is that constant batting back and forth is kind of annoying, like at a tennis club or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, put them inside.
Right.
That's a good one.
Now,
Yeah.
here's one put to rather good use. Not that I smoke, but there's a mall in Michigan that's turned into a growing dispensary for marijuana. Yes.
So it's a like they don't have to ship it anywhere. It's big enough to where they can grow it in-house.
I have a farm inside this mall
And then sell it.
and sell it, which is a fantastic idea. Because
Brilliant.
in Detroit, you can't grow things outside. It's pretty much Siberia all year. It's freezing cold. So
Yes.
I understand that you're going to set up in an old mall.
I like that idea. Not that I would not nail, but it seems like a good idea, I suppose, to use a massive space. You put in the growing lamps. You can grow whatever you want and sell it, I suppose. Yeah.
You've never smoked marijuana?
Never.
Okay.
Never. Pretty straight-laced here.
So here's another one. Cary, Indiana, which is a beautiful town
Yes.
in Indiana. The parent company of Fortnite, Epic Games, they bought the entire mall, a million square foot mall, and turned it into their offices, which completely makes sense, converting it into office space.
They're making so much money with that game. And rather than build their own little fancy Apple or Google facility with, all the fanciness, they're like, oh, this shopping mall works. Let's just repurpose that. It's already got the food court. It's already got the little areas for the very shrewd people here. Is this Ed Bullion's cousin or something like that?
It's possible. I don't know. And so here's the best one. Okay, so I'm not familiar with this church. It's a mega church, Lakes Churches in Florida. They bought in Florida. They bought an entire mall to turn into their mega church. So imagine all the, you have youth group here and ministries here, and then you have the lunchroom here, and then the torturous cult with snakes in the basement that nobody can find.
So like the Dillards is the congregation area, and then J.C. Penney is like the youth area, and then they'll have like the gym feeding area out of the old, I don't know, Von Mar or something, in Montgomery Ward or something like that. And then they have the food court. They have living, like that is the perfect place to start a cult. Absolutely.
Or megachurch, which is synonymous. It goes hand in hand, perhaps.
In Kansas City, there's a cult that lives in a cave.
Wait, what?
Like a massive cult.
Are you serious right now?
Yes. And it's a couple hours away. I actually bought a limousine from them on my show, and it was very strange. Like
if you didn't think it could get weirder.
But
you bought a limousine
I'm serious.
from them.
So they carved it all out, and it was used for mining, and they have all of these in Kansas City. Basically, what shopping malls are becoming now, it's used for storage for all kinds of things because it's so temperature controlled and all that stuff. Parking garages. There's a whole underground thing in Kansas City, but this guy bought it.
How do you buy a limousine from a caving cult community?
They listed it for sale. I inquired on it. It was his personal limousine, and they had it in the entrance of their cave. And everybody that came out had sort of a similar name and looked kind of similar.
Are you being serious right now?
I'm very.
What kind of limousine?
It was all documented. It's like Silver Rose. It was like a '96 Lincoln Town Car, limo, black. Okay. And it had a little mini bar in it that was electric and revolving to like pick your drink. It was very cool, but definitely owned by a cult leader.
What did they want for it?
That lived in a cave. It was under $10,000.
Did they haggle?
No, they didn't haggle. But I wanted the car, and I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible.
Did they try to convert you into their cult?
They did not let me go any deeper than the initial vault thing. Okay. So there's like the big vault door that looks like a nuclear kind of blast thing, and then that, and then whatever the next layer down, and then apparently there's an entire city down there, and there's people that have talked about, some that have gotten out that have escaped from this, and talk about how they've made basically a town down there with fake windows and fake lighting and all that stuff, much like the Vault Dwellers. And it's real. It exists. And I suppose this Florida shopping mall is the next one.
Jake, do you know about these cult people in caves?
It's real.
Really?
It's real. Yes.
This just blew my mind. And you have their limo.
I sold it a long time ago. Now I have a Tesla Cybertruck.
And you're going to start your own cult with it.
No.
In Kansas.
The cult leader, Elon Musk, people aren't sipping his Kool-Aid much anymore, clearly from what's happening. So
that's a lot of stock of
Good.
Teslas that they're trying to get rid of.
Well, very interesting, April. Thank you so much for watching.
Last year, Fortnite's parent company, Epic
I can
Games.
make you smoke, though.
That just means so many different things.
I couldn't even say this straight. But sorry to get you off track. I'm sorry.
I just feel bad for Jake.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, tell Jake
No,
you're sorry.
no. I've never made her go fembot and explode. No. That's never going to happen. And I'm sorry that get you off track.
I did.
She is probably a fembot, let's be honest. At some point, she's just going to get
Stop
machine gun
it.
jubblies and kill me. But